All right, guys, so we're starting Unit 2, our logic unit, and this unit deals with logic and argument, not much math, more English language. And it's teaching us how to think logically and make arguments pretty much to win any case we want. Hopefully, I've already shown you the example, depending on where you are, or you'll see it next class. On how you can pretty much, using logical argument, you can get anyone to agree to almost anything. So you can kind of back people into a corner if you're good at this. So what we're going to do today is start looking at how this works. This is logical thinking. Okay, so a conjecture is a statement that might be true, but it is unproven. So that would be something that says math is hard. I know some of you think math is hard, but then it becomes easier, okay, when you practice it. So that's a statement. It might be true, but we don't know yet. We haven't proven it. A counterexample to a conjecture is an example that contradicts the conjecture and proves it untrue. Okay, so if you say math is hard, then you can say addition is easy, right? You can add 2 plus 2 equals 4. You guys can do that in your head. So you just took the time to learn it. So then that would be saying, no, math isn't hard. Addition isn't hard, and that's math. So the contradiction of the statement would actually be some math is hard, but the statement math is hard, all math is hard, that's not true, right? Some math is hard, and it's only hard until you understand it, and then it becomes easy. So let's do this. Let's do a simpler example. A conjecture. If the name of the month starts with the letter J, it is a summer month. Oh, well, that's true for June and July. But is there another J month in our year? Yes, January. So wait a second. January starts with a J, but it's not a summer month. That's the counterexample. Oh, wait, so the conjecture is not true. So the negation of our statement, if the name of the month starts with the letter J, it is not always a summer month. That is true. So our conjecture was not true. The negation of our conjecture was true. And if you think this way and process words this way, you'll be a much better arguer. Okay, let's look at example 2. All 4-sided figures are rectangles. A square has 4 sides. That's not a rectangle, that's a square. So not all 4-sided figures are rectangles. Some 4-sided figures are rectangles. Whoops-a-daisy, let me go back. I want you to do this on your own. So do this on your notes, and yes, you have to turn your notes in to me today. The next page, now we're going to talk about conditional statements. Okay, so that's at the top of the second page. A conditional statement is an if-then logic statement. Okay, conditional statements have 2 parts, and we looked at this in our warm-up. A hypothesis is the if part, and the conclusion is the then part. And the way we write this in math, because mathematicians are lazy, we don't write the whole sentence every time. We write it as P is the hypothesis, not hypotenuse, sorry. P is the hypothesis, and Q is the conclusion. So we're going to underline the hypothesis and circle the conclusion. So you're going to underline it is July, because the if tells me it's the hypothesis. That's my P. Then I'm going to circle there is no school. That's my Q. Whoops-a-daisy. Keep doing this. The second example, if I train really hard, that's my P. Then I will make it to the NFL. And somehow I've lost the circle here, and I'm sorry. So you circle this on your notes, and that's the Q. And instead of writing, if I train really hard, then I will make it to the NFL, I can write P arrow Q. It's the same thing. I'm just substituting, okay? Just the way I would with numbers, but now I'm substituting words. Example 2, underline the hypothesis, circle the conclusion. If is always my hypothesis, even if it's in the wrong place in the sentence. If this said, it is a triangle if a polygon has 3 sides, I would still underline the if statement. Doesn't matter where it is in the sentence. You underline the if statement. That's your hypothesis every time. So now you guys do this and check it out. Make sure you put your hypothesis, your P, and your Q in the right spot. Okay. Now we're going to look at making conditional statements. So what if I didn't put it in if-then form already? 2 points are collinear if they lie on the same line. Collinear actually means same line. So if is the second thing in my sentence. Doesn't matter. That's still my hypothesis. If they lie on the same line, then 2 points are collinear. That is my example. Okay, they gave me an if, so I had a place to start. Now here's a sentence, no place to start, all fish swim. What? How would I do that? All fish swim. Okay, if I am a fish, then I swim. So if it is a fish, it swims. I've taken my statement and turned it into a conditional with an if and a then. Okay? You try this. All fruits have seeds. Try to do it just like the example above. Okay? Put this on your notes. I'm signing off on your notes. Probably grading them this time. Okay, so we talked about conditional statements, if, then. Now we're going to talk about converse statements, which is the opposite. You flip your hypotenuse and your conclusion. So let me show you what I mean. This is my conditional statement. If it is my geometry book, then it is blue. So I flip it. If it is blue, then it is my geometry book. And that's P arrow Q. Okay? So now I'm just taking my two things and I'm flipping their order. That's all I'm doing. If two angles are congruent, then they are vertical. If they are vertical, then two angles are congruent. Okay? This statement isn't always true. The conditional statement, if it's true, that doesn't mean the converse is true. Okay? You have to think logically about it, right? You have to go through the counterexample and the negation to see if it's true. Okay, now we're going to look at inverse statements. Now, instead of flipping it, we're going to make them negative. So converse, you flip. Inverse, you negate. So if it is raining, then practice is canceled. So what I'm going to say, if it is not raining, then practice is not canceled. And if I want to write that as a symbol, I write the little squiggle, which is the not symbol. Okay? Example, the next example, if you are not in school during the summer. So first I have to turn this into a conditional statement. If you are not in school, then it is summer. So then I'm going to negate it. If you are in school, wait, because this is a negative, the at not here, when I negate a not, it says you are not in school. Not in school, that doesn't make any sense. So just like in math, remember if I have a negative times a negative, it turns into a positive. If I have a double negative in English, I'm not in school. That means I am in school. The two nots cancel each other out. If you are in school, then it is not summer, because this is not saying not summer, it's positive. Okay? And then you write the same symbol. That little squiggly means not. Okay? Oh, there were no examples for that one. Wow. Oh, yeah, there are. They're on your notes. So I want you guys to do the examples that are on your notes. Okay? If you get 100% on the test, then your teacher will give you an A. Turn that into the inverse. If you live in Austin, then you live in Texas. Turn that into the inverse. Okay? Oh, wait, that was for converse. For inverse, it was, if today is Wednesday, then yesterday was Tuesday. If I eat a gallon of ice cream, then I will gain weight. Sorry about that. Okay. So you're filling in your notes. You're doing this, and I'm signing off on it. You're not just watching this video and filling in the blue and walking away. This time, I'm signing off on your notes. Okay? Contrapositive statements. This is where I have to do everything. So I take my conditional statement, then I flip it, then I negate it. So it's everything together. So here's my conditional. If we are in Virginia, then we are not in Texas. So the contrapositive would be, I flip it, so the Texas is now my hypothesis, and I negate it. If we are in Texas, because remember it was if we are not in Texas, so the nots cancel, then we are not in Virginia. So I flipped it, and then I negated both parts. Here's another example. If a polygon has 4 sides, then it is a quadrilateral. So I'm going to flip it. If it is a quadrilateral, then a polygon has 4 sides. But I have to negate it as well. So if a polygon does not have 4 sides, I put the not in, then it is not a quadrilateral. And you guys are going to do the examples on the last page. You're going to fill those in. If you are in geometry, then you are in 10th grade. Use your notes. Use these notes above you. Use the examples to do this. And the other example, if 3 points lie on the same line, then the points are collinear. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to fill this in. Okay? Use your notes that you already took. Fill this in, and I have to sign off on this and give you a grade. So you're turning these notes into me. Come over here and say, Miss Barnett, look at my notes, okay? And I'm going to sign off on them. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Ask if you have questions, you know that.